All right. Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody can hear me. The first person jumps on here, please tell me you can hear me. We are live, as promised, 6 p.m. Wednesday evening. Hope everybody's having a great evening. As soon as somebody jumps on here, we will, hopefully y'all can hear me. I hope so. So we'll go over some weather stuff and some future events that I know of. And we'll talk about the fish that I caught this weekend. We'll let a few people jump on here, man. I know it's right at 6 o'clock. Please let me know if you can hear me. I appreciate everybody. I try to mute the mic and off and on. Hopefully, I think that when I ran into that several weeks ago. But I hope everybody's doing all right. Like I said, I think we dodged a little bit of weather up here in my area. I know it's rained a little bit down south, but I know we're supposed to get some weather Friday. It looks like everybody's going to get some weather Friday. Hopefully no bad weather, just some thunderstorms or whatever they want to say. But just let me know in the comments section that you can hear me, guys. I know there's a few people on here. We will get into the show when everybody lets me know that they can hear me. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Hopefully there's about 10 or 15 people on here. Hopefully somebody will let me know that they can hear me before I go into this report. There you go. Thank you, Bert. Dagger Outdoors, loud and clear. Appreciate you tuning in on YouTube. Thank you, Mr. Bill Lolly. Appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to go over some lures that I caught the fish on Sunday, Mother's Day, and I got my rods behind me and show you exactly what I caught them on and exactly what I learned this weekend. I spent a lot of time on the water, and I'm always learning. And, man, Saturday I had a trip and Sunday, but I'll go into that and tell you what I actually learned. I'm always learning, like I said, and it's a big it's always a learning process. Live scope, four faces sonar, side scan, whatever you want. But if you're willing to learn, the fish will teach you something, what they do and don't do, and I will go into that. Let's go into some weather. Let's see. This weather for Camden, since it's a general area, like I say every show, it's kind of a centralized area to the Black Belt. So Saturday, they're saying scattered thunderstorms. The high is 80. Southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, and 60% chance of rain. Hopefully, those scattered storms will hold off because we've got the Big Daddy Crappie Day, the Big Crappie Day, Big Daddy Lawler 7th Annual going on at Roland Cooper State Park there, and I hope the weather stays away for that, where they can have a good time and people can get out and enjoy themselves. I'm hoping they get the weather wrong, but it's scattered, so maybe there won't be any bad weather. May get a little rain, but hopefully nothing crazy, and then it scoots by and everybody can have a good turnout and go have some fun. It's not real expensive to get into that, guys. So if you guys get a chance to participate in it, please do. Sorry, Travis. I wish you'd let me know. I'd have brought Travis on here and we'd talk some more crappie. We got plenty of time, Travis. On Michael Hilliard, I figured he'd be catfishing today. Appreciate him tuning in, man. But I'm trying to think of what else. That's a crappie thing. Let's see. Maddie's tournament, Miller's Fair Heritage Open. The bass tournament's coming up the end of the month, the 25th and 27th. I know there's several tournaments going on, but if you support Maddie and the Bridgeport Team Trail and you like fishing Miller's Fair, you need to participate in this if you're a big bass fisherman. I think it's going to be a great tournament. Hopefully the largemouth turns on. I seen I meant to put the results on here. I think 16 pounds won Maddie's tournament, the first of the summer series. I think it was 16 something. I should have my butt kicked for not posting it on here, but they had a good turnout, looked like, and had a good tournament. But Michael here is saying they have a catfish tournament Saturday out of Cooler's Pond. I did see you share that, Michael. I should have put it on here, man. I think I did share it on the page, but I didn't copy it and put it on here. But I guess the Alabama Catfish Series is what that is. If you want to see a cool weigh, I guess y'all have a weigh-in at Cooler's Pond too. If you guys like catfishing, it'd be interesting to drive out there. Hopefully the weather stays cloudy and pretty good, Michael, and y'all can y'all can catch some big cats. I know they don't mind that cloudy weather. But yeah, y'all got any questions? I'm gonna go over some stuff. I know people that follow me. I posted it Sunday. Me and Colby, we cracked some crappie. Man, we caught way over 100 crappie in Demopolis. Had some fun, but I guess I'll go into the story and tell y'all since everybody's kind of tuned in, and this is recorded anyway. But Sunday I had a trip. I had a guide trip with Mark and his boys, and man, it was 57 degrees Saturday morning. It was cool. Those that went out, and the water went up about 2 foot, and I always keep up with the water. And really, man, to be honest with you, I'd never paid attention to the water temperature this time of year, and I'm like, well, it's get early summer, and I get down there, guys, and the water's in the upper 60s, like 67, 68, and I go to the general area where I know the fish should be, and caught a couple fish, and man, I was like, they should be here. So anyway, Saturday, to make that part of the story a little shorter, I busted my rear running all over the place. We kept 25, 26 crappie. It was tough, man. I covered some water. We finished up about 2 or 3 o'clock, and a friend of mine, David Fales, he put in about 1 o'clock. And by that time, it done got 80-something degrees. And he went to some areas that I fish, and man, he said he caught 30 crappie just in 2 hours. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I'll draw you a scenario where I'm fishing. There is a channel that goes up through this creek, and there's a flat, and there's some brush and different laydowns and stuff in there. And I'm assuming that those fish, when that water cooled off, I think in fish, crappie especially, that's 10 foot deep or shallower, that water temperature affects them tremendously, man. You don't realize it, but it does. I mean, it drops from 80 to 67. That's a big drop. And those fish go out and bury in the mud or get out in the channel. And then as the day warmed up, the water got towards 80, they ran into those tops, and they're setting up to feed. And it made sense. I should have, hindsight's 2020. Next time I run into that scenario, I will run a trip later up in the day. I won't get down there until 10, 11 o'clock. But so Sunday, I had a game plan. I told Colby we're going to stop and eat breakfast, and we're going to take our time and get down there. But it didn't get as cool. It was like in the upper 60s Sunday morning. And, man, we went in there and started catching fish. And then I learned a lesson Saturday. We caught 20, 25, and I said, hey, man, we're going to go play around in some creek. We went to French Creek, actually, and played around and checking some stumps, caught a few fish, nothing crazy. And I knew at lunchtime that I was going to be back in that general area when the water got hot. And, man, we got in there, guys, and I'm telling you, it was like a light switch went off. Every top that I stopped in was loaded with fish, and we started pulling 20, 25, 30 fish out of every top. And, man, and the water was pulling, they were shooting up out of there, guys. You would barely tick the cover with your jig, and it was gone. But I was throwing this air jig right here that I make weedless. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's a Ruben Flores. Dunn Sports carries these. I make them weedless. I drill them out. You can see the glue on them and trim them up. But I was catching most of my fish on this Sunday. And then I'll tell you what happened. This is a neat story. Y'all can believe me if you don't. But if you don't want to, but I'm telling you, this is God's honest truth. Colby was throwing a plastic. And it's a red grass tackle out of Mississippi makes this color called grape truce. It's called grape truce. It is great. You see the purple, and it's chartreuse. Colby was wearing me out, guys, and I was like, man, he's stroking them. And I happened to look, and he said, well, my bad, I put that jig on upside down. If you guys look, that bait is upside down. That grape side, he had it facing down. And I had the same jig on, but I had mine the right way. This is the wrong way, actually. But it ended up being the right way. For some reason, those fish were honing in on that color from below it. And they were smoking it. And I'm like, well, even though that's bright, they were picking up on that purple. For some reason, that grape truce, they were lighting it up. I guess coming from below, that coming over the top of that brush, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, you put the dark side down on this jig. And like I said, you can see that's a Timmy Tom's weedless. It's on upside down. But I learned that lesson, man. I just never would have thought it, but Colby, he actually put it on upside down. And man, the proof's in the pudding, guys. I mean, that's the 2 lures I caught. You see the picture right there. Those upper fish up there, those 11, 10, 12 inchers, I threw back. I don't know how many of them. I tried to keep up with it. It was 100-something fish, but that's the 2 lures I was using. The water's kind of stained, but I mean, who would have thought that he put the jig on upside down? But he was catching 5 to mine 1. I mean, and I had the same jig, but I had it on right. Again, that's a red grass tackle. Grape Truce is the name of it. But you see, it is upside down as far as jigs are concerned. That's the belly, and that's the way I had it. I had it the exact opposite. He had the purple down and was cracking me. I was like, man. But guys, crappie like stable conditions, water temperature, water color, weather, everything. They like stable conditions to make them stay on general areas. But all these fish are starting to pile up on secondary cover. What I mean by that is off the bank. It's 10 foot of water. Demopolis is real shallow, so 10 foot's about that, pretty deep down there. But it's when you're dealing with 10 foot or less of water, you need to pay attention to water temperature and air temperature, guys. Not just barometric pressure and everything, but if the sun's out and you've got stained water, it is actually going to warm faster. Just like you wear this black cat out in the sun, your head's going to get hotter than a white or a light gray. Same way with the water. Water stain, water heats up faster. But Saturday I ran my butt off, and I should have started later when the water got warmer and the fish. But those fish will tell you what they want to do, and you got to be there when they do it. I mean, that's just a fact. So Saturday I learned a lesson. I was kind of frustrated, and even though we kept 25 crappie, it's not a bad day. But man, I busted my tail, ran all over the river, and then Dave come down there, midday and cracked them. And then Sunday I was patient, caught a few that morning. And then midday, man, we stroked them. So I was like, that's what I need to do. I learned that lesson. Everybody gets up early, and crappie fishing, man, you don't have to get up early. You're not worried about a top water bite like you are bass fishing. But I want to get that story out where I can remember it's fresh on my mind. But it is very interesting how we caught these fish, and none of that's by, it's not by coincidence. I promise you. So it's an interesting story. But when you deal with clear water, it's different. But stained water warms fast, guys. So these cool days you're having, this rain, be paying attention. Those fish are gonna move on you. Same way with bass, guys. Bass are the same way. I imagine I've always heard that 5 or 10 degrees in the water is like 20, 25 degrees to us air temperature. So, you can feel that immediately. I guess those fish feel it in the bait and everything else. But you want it warm. You want the sun out, especially these summertime crappie that we catch. It's getting to be my favorite time of year. I catch a lot of fish this time of year. Last year, Chad went on the same day, and we caught well over 100. So it's not, it always repeats itself if the conditions are the same. So just, hey, pay attention, man. If you don't keep a logbook, Facebook's kind of my logbook. I see my memories pop up. But James Trott said I caught a pile on Logan Martin late yesterday evening just before dark. Yeah, I've been watching you, seeing your post, James. But man, you learn something all the time. So don't just take it for granted, whether you're using live scope or not using live scope. Just remember the time of the day, the weather, the water temperature, everything, because all those factors are come into play when you're trying to catch fish. But man, a lot of people are not going to tell you this information, but it makes a big difference, guys. I mean, I've seen it. I mean, the proof's in the pudding with a picture, guys. I mean, you can't. Fish don't lie to you. Those fish were aggressive. I mean, we caught a 210, but man, I mean, it's just amazing. You just gotta stay with those fish and wonder. Everybody just thinks it's luck, but create your own luck, guys. Go out there and get you something going. Just create your own luck. I've always heard that, and that's what you need to do. So, but man, I want to thank my sponsors. I've got a new sponsor. Actually, I start working for this fella the end of the month. Rayco Industrial Incorporated. He sponsored the show. He actually sponsored the show before me and him. I interviewed for a job for him, but I will start for them at the end of this month. I'll be servicing concentrating Selma and below, guys. So sawmills, paper mills, you're going to be seeing my fat head. And I'll be visiting. I'll be down that way a lot, down in Camden and Monroeville and Mobile. I'll be visiting a lot of people. And hey, I may shout out to you guys that I know that's down there if you can get my foot in the door of some of those companies. But I want to thank Rayco for sure. Rouse's Crawfish. They've been a sponsor since April for us. I know it's a seasonal thing, but hey, guys, if you're going to do a crawfish boil, give Rouse's a call, man, and order some crawfish. And always Harris Farms. I mean, I seen Lorraine post this the other day. You like tomatoes? You need to run down to Harris Farms and get you. Look at that. I already got big old tomatoes, green tomatoes. You can go ahead and get your tomato fix, your vegetable fix. They're taking vegetables orders. Pork chops, bacon, eggs. There's some jalapeno poppers wrapped in bacon. You need to go down there and see Harris Farms, Parker and Lorraine. Good folks. I'm actually stopping through there Friday to pick up some hoop cheese for Ashley and a few other things. So I'm going to try to go through there Friday on my way to Panama City. But I want to thank them. And Hunter's Run, I eat there every time I stay close by. Hunter's Run in Monroeville and Camden. Michael and them's good folks. Good atmosphere. Got great appetizers. Biggest crab claws you've ever seen at Hunter's Run. I mean, John and Jessica and I were talking about that the other night. So be sure to stop and thank these sponsors and spend your money with them in the town of Camden there, guys. Because, hey, that's what makes it tick. So let's see what James is saying. I'm looking for finding and catching crappie on all new structures I just found. That's right, James. I mean, look at you, man. You're learning, as we get older, you're like, man, you think you learn something all the time. Like you're actually going out there. I've been keeping up with you, James, and looking at stuff that normally you don't look at, and you're picking up fish. And a lot of those fish you're catching, James, haven't been messed with, man. It's not a dock. It's stuff on ledges and stuff. So, hey, man, keep doing it. You get better and better. It's never too late to learn. Like I said, I learned a lesson this weekend big time. And I won't forget that lesson, I promise you. So I will keep that in the back of my head. But, yeah, man, if y'all got any questions, Tommy tuned in from Florida down there. I appreciate Tommy tuning in. But me and Tommy's caught a pile of fish together too, man. He's a good friend of mine. But like I said, I'm not going to keep rambling on this show. Like I said, if you're going to be fishing the big crappie tournament at Miller's Ferry, there it is right there, the Big Daddy Lawler. That is Saturday. You can sign up at Roland Cooper State Park, CT Ward Power Sports, Lofton's Bait Shop, a Handyman Build Supply, and Coast to Coast Hardware. Hopefully the thunderstorms are going to hold off for you guys Saturday. Sunday, I didn't talk about Sunday's weather. Some clouds in the AM, a high 89 north-northwest wind, 5 to 10 mile an hour. Sunday looks like a great day. Hopefully I get to go Sunday myself. I know Friday's going to be raining and storming, so everybody be weather alert, please. But, again, all those fish I caught this weekend, that is a red grass tackle bait. It's a great truce. I ordered some more of them. I paid for every one of them, so they're not sponsoring me. But, hey, great bait. Kobe turned it upside down, caught way more fish than I did. That grape truce, and this is a Ruben Flores. It's a hand tie that I make weedless. Dunn's Sports got them. I think they're carrying ATX lures now. Kyle and them's great folks too. Go down there and pick you up some jigs. Quality jigs you can't beat them, guys. You catch more fish with them. They don't tear up as easy. James is saying, have they moved out to the wood down? In the Demopolis they have, James. They're getting in their summer places. Miller's Ferry, I haven't got to fish it yet. I hope to get to fish it soon, and I'll be able to tell you what they're doing 100%. But I went fishing in Demopolis, and they were in their summer spots, James. It's so weird down there. Those crappie, those summer spots, they're never there any other time of the year. They're there from May till September. It's crazy. None in the spring, nothing. You won't catch hardly any fish. But when the water gets 80 degrees and stays 80 to 90 degrees, those fish, it's crazy, James. It's you want to go catch some eater fish. You're not going to catch a lot of big fish. Sometimes you do. If you want to go catch some fill up your freezer, eater fish, you need to go to Demopolis. 100%. It's not rocket science. Get in the creek, turn your side scan on, find you some stuff, and go fishing. Don't make it harder than it is. I promise you. But hey, Demopolis is going to be on my list for a little bit until I get to Miller's Ferry, start breaking down that water. it's always fun, guys, to break down water you hadn't been to in a minute and get out there and see where the fish are or aren't. I know Miller's Ferry's been tough all year. I talked to Mike Letkins the other day, and it's just been tough. So, but they'll show up. You can't get frustrated. Bill always said they're not in the places I caught them last year yet. That's right. They'll be there, Bill. You got to realize the water's been cooler too, man. The water got hot, and the fish thought they were going to do it. Then the water dropped back down. I mean, you've had, this morning it was 66 degrees up until lunchtime up here. So, Tony Adams is tuned in. He's ready to go catching. Tony Adams catches more crappie down there than you follow, and he's starting to. That's when you know they're biting, guys. If you follow Tony Adams at all, he starts filling up tailgate. Hey, them tailgate pictures, they'll tell the tale. He's a guy down there you follow. We're actually going down there to crappie cast camp June the 1st. John and Jessica, myself, and a whole slew of people are going to be down there. So I appreciate it, Tony. We'll be seeing you down there for sure. Save me some fish because I know you got enough cover out and everything. But Cody Hall, what's your favorite unit for side scanning? Cody, I'm using a Helix for side scanning. I've gotten used to seeing everything on it. It's gotten pretty good. It's got a real good side scan, down scan. Once you get it tuned up, I got a Gen 4 unit, the Gen 3s, 2s. You can look at all of them, but I will say this, Cody. Garmin has that new, it's not really new, it's been out, a GT56 transducer. It's strong. That Garmin with the GT, that's what James Trott's saying. That GT56 is strong. So if you already have a Garmin unit, hey, or you come across a good deal, hey, get you a Garmin also. They're pretty strong. So Dave Druden said finally caught some at the ferry long line, and there you go, 28 total with a lot of short ones. There you go. So when he's talking about long lining, guys, he's got some mounts in the back of his boat, and he's trolling. Not front, not pushing, but he's long lining. He is trolling out of the back of the boat. So that's good to know, man. Hopefully they're setting up. They're starting to set up, Dave, because I know I need to get down there and see if they're in my little stumps. I fish a lot of stumps down there in Miller's Ferry, on the main river and these creeks. I look for stumps that, man, you don't really see fish on them, but their fish are there. They like to get in them when they're hollowed out. So, but yeah, Bill always said it's muddy. I seen William Malone post a drone picture the other day of the river, and I heard it was the Alabama River. Excuse me, it was muddy, but it doesn't. Man, you get like 3 inches of rain sometimes at these flash floods. So, but hey, if you're just tuning in, go back and I'll tell you how. You'll see, and during this recording that I'll tell you how we caught those fish. The lesson I learned. I appreciate each and one of y'all listening to me, and we'll keep growing this show, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. A lot of the same people watch crappie cast, and I appreciate y'all. And as we'll get, some more bass stuff on, and bass fishermen on here and talk, but they don't like to share a lot of information. I don't blame them. A lot of tournaments going on this time of year, but the Big Daddy Lawler, like I said, the Big Fish Tournament, it's this Saturday. Hopefully the thunderstorms, they kind of scattered, so I think you're going to be okay. Get out there and go weigh in just big fish and have some fun. Get your family out there. I'm sure jugging's still on as far as catfishing is concerned. Your long line jugs are coming in soon, so this summer you'll be able to long line jug, throw you some jugs out, go crappie fishing. At least you'll have you some dinner if the crappie are biting slow. But listen, I always try to share some information. If I learn something, I'm going to tell you guys. I don't hold back information. That's what me and John's known for. This show's not going to be any different. I'm going to tell you anything I've learned, and hopefully you can gather something from it and go catch some more fish just because of some tip that I may have gave you, or you may be able to share them. And I learn from people all the time. So, hey, I'm not the best crappie fisherman on the planet, but I do a lot of it, and I try to learn and try to share. So I'm going to keep on doing that as long as I'm breathing, and the good Lord blesses me to be able to go. But hey, you got any question, guys? My number's posted. Text me, message me. I try to answer as much as I can. Like I said, I want to thank the sponsors again: Rouse's Crawfish, Harris Farms, Rayco Industrial, my new employer. I'll start the end of this month. I appreciate Ray hiring me. I'm going to be a salesman for them, running running through all the plants and meals down y'all's way. So Harris Farms got tomatoes. I know I'm skipping all over the place. Eggs. Look at them poppers, man. Go by there and get you some, spend you some money, and just don't go in there hungry because you will it will hurt your feelings, guys. I spent a bunch of money in there for sure. So, but let's see, Scott. I don't want to miss your question. What's your depth for switching between 16th to 8th? Man, I'll be honest with you, Scott. If the wind's not blowing, I try to throw a 16th as much as I can. When you start getting in the teens, to me, Scott, like 13, 12, 13, I try to slip, go to an 8th. But if I can pull off a 16th, I will. But most of my fishing this time of year is a 16th. I don't break down to the 32nd much, but an 8th, I would say, when it gets in the teens, Scott, especially if the wind's blowing a pretty good bit. I can, and I will tell y'all this with live scoping. What you don't realize is this. I will show you another tip. Your boat and the fish, when you throw that 8th out there, it's coming by them pretty quick. But if you get your angle a little steeper and your jig hits, you can slow that jig down a little bit. You can choke it down because you're closer to. So when you get inside 20 feet, 25 feet, you can slow that bait down because of the angle of your line. You can slow that 8th down a little bit. But I like the 16th because I keep in the strike zone longer. I can twitch it more. I can keep it in the limbs. But when it gets in the teens, Scott, that's when I pick up an 8th. I don't throw a lot of 8ths this time of year. Fall, I do. But this time of year, man, I'm throwing a lot of 16ths. But wind permitting, I can throw a 16th. I won't pick up an 8th. But if the wind's blowing, it's blowing 10 mile an hour, you got to pick it up. But that's really all my go-to stuff for sure. Yeah, current's a factor too, Scott. I'm glad you brung that up too. Current is too. If you can't. If it's blowing by the fish, I get on top of them a lot, man. Especially if the water's stained, Scott. I'll get on top of them if they don't spook and my boat's not popping. It's not popping from waves or the white cap or anything, and I can get close to them and they let me. I'm gonna get on top of them. And I'll take a short pole and treat it like a long rod. I've started using a long rod a lot. I got a 17-foot outlaw I've been using. I got a 15-foot Jinko. I use those rods a lot. I enjoy catching them on it, but you give me a 6-foot rod and a 16th-ounce jig, Scott, and I'm happy as I can be. So, Mr. Doug Lott, appreciate you tuned in. He's sitting on Neely Henry. I guess he's up there fishing, man. Appreciate it. Brad Deal, he tuned in. Ain't no telling where Brad is. He may be on the road working, or he may be up Logan Martin Lake. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, we're gonna end this thing where you get y'all some time to spend with your families. It is Wednesday night. A lot of people want to make it to church. And, church is usually at 7:00. So hopefully everybody's safe Friday. Just watch the weather. Be weather aware. Be safe out on the water if you go fishing. Make sure you got your kill switches on. Make sure you got enough life jackets. The water patrol's been out. I got pulled over a couple times here lately and checked fire extinguishers and everything. So they're doing their job. But, if you get a chance to catch some kids during the Big Daddy Lawler Big Crappie Tournament, hey, get the kids out there. Brim season's in. They should be bedding here. I was talking to John. I think next week's a full moon. So you'll be looking for your brim beds too, guys. I mean, a lot of these places got brim. If you get out there and catch you some brim and enjoy it, just keep the kids busy and stuff. But we'll be back next Wednesday, I promise you. And hopefully I got another fish story to tell. And but y'all be sure to tune in to Crappie Cast tomorrow night. We're going to be giving away another rod, an outlaw rod. And I'll be telling this same story, and John will be getting his insights and stuff. And y'all bring your questions. And, hey, we're going to have a good time. Talk about Crappie Cast Camp coming up in Eufaula. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Thank all my sponsors. And we'll be seeing y'all next Wednesday. Appreciate y'all.